You've asked for lunchbox snacks, so I've got a ripper of a recipe for you. These are my kiwi fruit breakfast bars. They're so delicious. So first we need to start with the base, which is also the top, and in between that we've got a beautiful layer of kiwi fruit. So into a food processor, I'll add some wholemeal flour. I love the nutty flavour of wholemeal flour, but you can use plain flour if you like. Some instant oats. To this, I'll add some coconut, so a generous amount of coconut, desiccated coconut, and some sugar, so just some brown sugar. We'll just crumble that in. And I love cinnamon in this, but you can use other spices such as ground cardamom. Nutmeg works really nicely too, and some allspice. So it's up to you. So big pinch of cinnamon, and then just a few rising agents, some bicarb, and some baking powder. So that's all our dry ingredients. To this, I want to add 150 grams of unsalted cold butter. Now the butter needs to be cold because this is almost like a crumb mixture or a shortbread mixture. So you don't want this butter to be too hot. So 150 grams, I'll measure that out. And then we can cut this into smaller cubes. We don't want it to be too big. Now you could do this by hand if you like. When you are breaking up the butter into the dry ingredients, it is important to just cut this into small pieces and then use the tip of your fingers, almost like you're making an apple crumble mixture. You don't want to heat up the butter too fast because it'll just cluster and almost be too cakey, and we don't want that. We want it to be quite short. Okay, in with our butter, sprinkle that around, and a pinch of salt. Lid goes on, and I'm going to pulse this about 10 to 12 times until it becomes quite crumbly. All right, within moments, this mixture is ready. I'm quite happy with it. It'll actually look quite dry, but as you pinch it together with your fingers, you'll see it stick together. See how that's forming? That's what we're after. So we're going to add half of this mixture to the base. So into a tin that I've lined with baking paper, I'll add half of this, add that, leave the rest for later, and press down quite firmly with your fingers and the palm of your hand, just so it's really even. You can use a plate too if you like, just so we've got that perfect base for the bars. This now goes into the oven, 15 to 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Now, while the base is cooking, let's get onto the kiwi filling. So into a bowl, we're going to add some sugar, just some caster sugar, some corn flour, and this is going to help thicken it all up as it bakes in the oven. And then our juicy, juicy golden kiwi fruits. These are fantastic, not only to snack on, but great as a filling for these breakfast bars. So what I like to do is top and tail them, and we're just going to use a sharp knife just to cut straight down them. You can see how thin their skin is. In fact, you could actually eat the skin if you want. Just give it a good wash. I'm going to take it off for this because I want that almost jam-like consistency from them. So after you've peeled them, we're going to cut them into smaller chunks, mix it through the sugar and the corn flour, and just let it sit there for that 15 to 20 minutes until the base comes out of the oven. Okay, the base has come out of the oven, it's set nicely, it's still a little bit crumbly, which is the way it should be. And now for our golden kiwi fruits, we're just going to pour that over our base, and we're going to spread that out all the way to the sides, again making sure it's really even. Now I did add some lemon zest and juice to that too, just to give it some extra zing. And finally, that other half of the mixture, we're going to sprinkle that on, press it down slightly, and it goes back into the oven. This time it's going to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. All right, this is the fun part, cutting these gorgeous bars ready for the lunchbox. So this is why you need to use grease-proof paper, just to make it so much easier to take out of the tin. And look how sticky and delightful it is. You can see that gorgeous golden colour there from the kiwi fruit. It will crumble slightly because it is that crumble base, and we're going to cut these into little bars straight down there. Just have a look inside this. Oh, look at that. You see that layer right there? So delicious. I'm going to cut it into, I guess you'd say, lunchbox size pieces. And we'll pop that straight onto a plate. And this little bit here has my name all over it. I love how there's big chunks of that kiwi just looking at me. That is so delicious. It's almost like the fruit's turned into jam. So it's really sweet and sticky. And then you've got that crumbly topping, a delicious lunchbox treat. If anyone put that in my lunchbox going to school, whew, I would have been a happy little girl.